Hello, students. Today we are going to begin our next chapter, and that is Methods of Inquiry in Psychology. But before we dive into details about different concepts and content of this lesson, let's do a quick recap. I hope you all remember by now that psychology deals with scientific study of mental processes, behavior, and experiences in different contexts. Let me try to bring your attention to the word study of. Here it is mentioned study of. So it is quite natural to have a question in your mind that how actually psychologists study these phenomena like mental processes, behavior, and experiences. To give you an answer, let me tell you, psychologists do the same like a scientist. They try to investigate an event or a phenomena in an objective, systematic, and testable manner. Objective here means that if two people are studying an event or a phenomena independently, both of them to a greater extent they arrive at the same conclusion. Also, the study is done very systematically. Some steps are followed and the results can be verified. When we talk about inquiry in psychology, we try to investigate and know the causal factors that determines our behavior. Today in this video, we are going to learn about the goals of psychological inquiry. Better understanding of these goals will not only help you in your academic progress, but you will be able to make significant positive changes you wish to have in your life. So let's start. There are 5 goals of psychological inquiry, and they are description, prediction, explanation, control, and application. So let's start with the first goal, and that is description. In any psychological study, it is foremost important to describe accurately the behavior or the phenomena you want to study. This helps in distinguishing a particular or a relevant behavior from other behaviors. So remember, defining, classifying, and categorizing a phenomena or a behavior accurately is very, very important. It helps in getting greater awareness, and you can document your feelings and thoughts, and this can be recorded. You can do so with the help of mind maps or making list or keeping a journal. Let's try to understand this with an example. A student who is feeling anxious about an upcoming exam. He knows that during the exam he is going to feel anxious, and that feeling he needs to describe that in detail with clarity. How you feel, what you feel, fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of shame if you failed in exams, or the other physical symptoms like racing heart or knots in stomach, etc. Our next goal is that of prediction. When we are able to understand and describe behavior accurately, it actually helps us in understanding the relationship of a particular behavior with other types of behavior, events, or phenomena. This prediction is within a certain margin of error. Let's understand this with the example we have taken previously, that is, feeling anxious about the upcoming exam. We can predict that feeling anxious during exam, but if the person is aware and he takes steps to work on the feeling of anxiety by seeking support before exam, he may not feel too anxious. Prediction becomes more accurate with the increase in the number of persons observed. The third goal of psychological inquiry is that of explanation. Psychological inquiry, it helps us in knowing the causal factors or determinants of behavior, which helps in establishing cause and effect relationship. That means what is the reason and how it is affecting. In the example we have taken earlier, we can explain that feeling anxious about upcoming exam, it can be because of the past experience of the student of failing in an exam, or because of the way parents or teachers they have expressed their disappointment in his performance, or others who have laughed at him or made fun that he failed. Next, a very important goal is that of control. If we are able to explain why a particular behavior occurs, we can control that behavior by making changes in its preceding conditions. Control refers to three things: making a particular behavior happen, reducing it, or enhancing it. The example we were discussing earlier, that is feeling anxious about upcoming exam, here one can use breath work to regain control during anxiety, or do daily meditation repeating positive affirmations like I am well prepared for the exam, and any other suggestions from the trained professionals help can really help him in better controlling the condition. Now let's talk about the final goal of our psychological inquiry, and that is application. If majorly concerns bringing about positive changes in the lives of people. Psychological research, it is conducted to solve problems in various settings. So example of application of yoga and meditation, it can help in reducing stress and increasing efficiency. Also scientific inquiry, it helps in developing new theories which further leads to research. I have an assignment for you. This you can do on your own. Ask yourself a simple question: why I am feeling sad? Then describe your feelings. What is happening? Why you are feeling sad? Then predict, will it happen again? And explain what factors result in that behavior. Then control it, how it can be changed, and then apply it in your life. Make constructive and lasting positive changes to be a happy person. I hope all the 5 goals of psychological inquiry, that are description, prediction, explanation, control and application, are clear to you, and you can really apply it in your real life and bring about significant positive changes. Thanks for watching.